Hello everyone, today you're watching me doing a speed paint of some Easter themed fan art of a Torchic from Pokemon. Stick around until the end to see how the finished result looks like. So anyways, now I will tell you how I made this art among other things. So what I am first doing is drawing out a wireframe. This wireframe will be used as guidance for when we do the line art. So anyways, how I am making this wireframe is that I am using the Blaziken images as reference because Torchic is a pre-evolution of Blaziken and I want the art to look consistent in my art style. Of course, I am also using Torchic images as reference images for proportions and to see how the little bird looks like. Yes, I know the character design is simple, but I just might forget some things, okay? Okay, so now that the Torchic wireframe is finished, we're going to draw out some egg wireframes. They're pretty simple and we're gonna add the patterns on in the coloring section. So okay, now we're on to the second section. We're drawing out the line art. So basically all I'm doing is just tracing the wireframe, and you might see that I'm adding some feather effects which were not present in the wireframe. Well, the wireframe only serves as like a basic base so I can get everything right. That means that I can add other things onto the line art, such as like feathers and claw markings. So we're just going to complete this Easter egg, and now we're on to the third step, the coloring. So what I do is highlight the desired area with the lasso tool, then use the pin color feature to get colors from the Torchic to be more faithful to the source material, and then I use the fill bucket tool to fill it in. You may be asking, why couldn't you just use the fill bucket tool? Well, it's because it leaves some pixels out. But however, if I do it with the lasso tool on a separate layer, it doesn't. So anyways, now we're just gonna make the Torchic all orange. And now we're on to the fun part, coloring in the Easter eggs. So for each one, I'm going to do a fire themed pattern for obvious reasons. And each fire themed pattern will be different. The fun part is thinking about which fire pattern should I add. It's because, well, I have to make up my own fire patterns. It's because I didn't add them on the wireframe and I want to plan them out as I draw. So yeah, that's the fun part. We're just going to use this pencil tool to add a fire onto the red Easter egg. And for each pattern I'm using a different brush which gives it more personality. We're just doing that, and for the fourth Easter egg we're going to color it in orange, and we're going to use this to create a fire pattern, and it looks cool. And maybe not that, so we're just going to use another tool for that. We're going to like add a zigzaggy fire like pattern, just like that, with all of the cool fire colors. And yeah, those are the patterns of the Easter egg. So now I'm just tweaking this Torchic, and yeah. So okay, now we're on to the fourth section, which is the shading. How I do this is basically use the lasso tool to ensure that nothing goes out of bounds, and then shade it with the airbrush tool. I use an airbrush tool as opposed to a pencil tool. It's because the airbrush tool makes it look more realistic and professional. Also, did you notice that I added tints to the airbrushes? That's right. It's added there to make the art look more vivid and give it more personality. It's tinted the exact same color as the background, which is orange. Also, here's a fun fact. In order to speed things up, when I click with the lasso tool, it highlights the entire thing. But however, with the Easter eggs, because they have such complex patterns, I can't do that. So I use the other lasso tool to manually highlight everything. So anyways, now we're doing the shiny shading, and it's to highlight the shiny parts like the eyes and the claws. And how I do this is use a airbrush with an opacity of 75%. However, the eggs are shiny, but they're using the regular 50 opacity airbrush because I forgot, lol. So finally we're at the background, and it's going to be an orange background, and I'm adding some like effects and writing the words Easter down. Yeah, Easter on both sides for obvious reasons, and here's the finished result. That looks pretty good. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this art. I hope you guys have a good Easter, and you can subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, and you can follow me on Twitter to see my art there too. Goodbye.